In this video, I just want to show you a little bit about what it means to subdivide and why this mesh menu is so important. So on our basic head, if you take a look at your basic head, I'm going to go to UV view. And you will notice that here are my UVs. I'm going to go to 3D view again. What I'm going to try and do is over here on the right side, I'm not going to paint, but I am going to try and sculpt. With my sculpt activated and the basic head is my option, I'm going to go down here to sculpt. And over on the right side, you will notice that I have options for my brushes. And we'll be talking a little bit more about these in a different video, but I do want you to notice that you can change your size and your strength over here on these different items. Also make note that we can use any kind of stamp image or play with steady strokes. And again, I'm excited to show you that a little bit later. So with my brush selected or my sculpt selected, I'm just going to go ahead and draw it over the surface. And you'll notice that I've got some serious artifacts that are appearing. And everything looks really, really jagged. If I go to display and I turn on wireframe, you can kind of see what's happening. What's going on is the sculpt brush is taking my mesh and pulling at those individual faces and stretching them based on the settings that I have listed here. Because this is a sculpt brush, it wants to take the surface and it wants to pull it forward. Now, because I have limited information in this mesh, in other words, it's a lower poly mesh, all it's doing is pulling those edges and vertices as far as it can go, and it really doesn't have a lot of form to it. This is something that's also known as artifacts and can create some issues, especially when you're going to do normal maps eventually on the surface or with the surface. So what I'm going to do is undo this, Control Z, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to increase subdivisions. So underneath mesh, I'm going to go to add subdivision level or add new subdivision level. And if you hit Shift D will let you do that as well. So what happened here is I've got more information. Now I'm at level 2, and now I'm at 3, 4, and 5. The truth is you might not want to go higher than 6. Your machine might not let you. If your machine allows you to go higher than 6, great. But there really isn't that big of a difference between, let's say, 6 and 9. For most machines, that's pushing it pretty high. And again, if you're going to get the same information or the same quality at 6 as opposed to 9, I would work with 6. Same thing with ZBrush. It's the same kind of principle. But what's nice about this, I'm going to zoom in and kind of show you what's really happening. Notice how I have many more faces now on the surface. So let me go ahead and sculpt it now. Look how crisp that is. And notice how I'm actually able to create that detail because I have the surface information to do that. Now, if I want to go through my different individual layers, I can. Step down and step up are simply doing page down and page up. So let me go ahead and try this again. Let me just create some simple information here. And I'm going to do page down. So even at level 2, you can see the difference. Now, one other thing I want you to notice is when I'm at level 1, I have 8,008 faces. If I go up, I'm at 32,000, 128,000 now, 512,000 at level 4, and now we're looking at well over 20 million on level 5. So these are things to keep in mind. And you want to make sure that you're doing this correctly so that you don't overexert your machine, crash, or have problems saving. So as we start to look at the semester, you're going to spend some time playing with different brushes, playing with different stamps and stencils, and looking at where you can add that detail, where you need to add it, and where you don't necessarily need to apply it. The other options under mesh that you're going to see are rebuilding your subdivision levels, which will be very, very important when you have your own meshes that you're bringing in. If you need to combine meshes or separate them, you can do that. If you want to create a tessellation mesh or reduce the mesh, maybe even retopologize that. And what does that mean? We're going to talk about that this semester. Duplicating, flipping them, making them symmetrical. All these options here are going to be found under mesh. And you're going to find this menu item or this menu pull down to be honestly the most useful. So that's it for the overview video of your interface. I want you to spend some time navigating and just getting comfortable. Create a new scene if you need to. Perhaps add a new object in there. Spend some time playing with your object. And I want you to spend some time adding some subdivisions and seeing what that does. Remember, display, wireframe will let you see that information. Turn it off when you want to get a better idea of what your sculpt looks like.